So it should be an historic Sunday at the Superdome in New Orleans in more ways than one. The NFL will have Super Bowl 59 on tap, and the National Football League will take center stage for what should be a classic between a couple 17-win squads. Representing the AFC, the Kansas City Chiefs at 17 up and 2 down. Now the Philadelphia Eagles represent the NFC at 17 and 3. These two teams familiar with one another, I'd say. They squared off in Super Bowl 57 a couple of years ago in Arizona. Kansas City walking away with a nail-biter. 3-point win. There you see the final score. By the way, I took Kansas City in that game and won. Kansas City was a 1.5 underdog. Heading into Sunday in New Orleans, the Chiefs will be a 1.5 favorite. The over-under hovering around 48.5, depending where you pick up the line. Kickoff time will be on Fox about 6:30 Eastern. Now the Chiefs head into this game with the opportunity to make history. First of all, they're the first team ever in the NFL that will play for a chance to three-peat as champions. And of course, if they win, they'll be the first team to ever win the three-peat. Some trivia for you. The NBA's Pat Riley, the Hall of Fame coach and executive and one-time player for the Lakers, he coined the phrase, legally three-peat. Go figure. Now, Kansas City hoping to get it done, but they're keeping their eyes on the prize, and that's just taking care of business and letting history take care of itself. And that's what Pat Mahomes told the media when he was asked about the three-peat, more or less just keeping things in perspective. Take a look and listen to QB 15.
When people talk about three-peat and everything like that, we're focused on how we can be better today to prepare ourselves for the next day.
And Mahomes and the Chiefs are on quite a run, a team in the midst of an historic dynasty. Going back to 2019, they've been in 4 of the last 5 Super Bowls. They've won 3 of them. The only loss coming in the COVID Bowl in 2020, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. By the way, the key in that game, the pass rush. And I'm going to take a look at the tail of the tape right now, and that could be one of the big factors come Sunday. Let's take a look how these two stack up. As I mentioned, they're both 17-win squads. On total offense, Kansas City 17th behind Mahomes. The Eagles rank 8th. Scoring offense, the Eagles are 7th, Kansas City 15th. Total defense, here's the factor, 9th for KC. Meanwhile, the Eagles' defense has been soaring, no doubt about that. The top-ranked defense in the league, number 1. And that could be the difference maker, putting that pressure on Mahomes. If you can rattle him or at least contain him on Sunday. Scoring defense, both of them do it well. KC 4th, the Eagles 2nd. And again, the last little tidbit there, as I mentioned, KC defeated the Eagles by 3 in Super Bowl 57. More history in this game. New Orleans has now hosted 11 Super Bowls. That ties them with the most hosted city for Super Bowls, Miami, the Magic City, the other one, with 11. In attendance Sunday, in what should be the absolute safest city on planet Earth, especially following that terrible, tragic, terrorist act on New Year's Day, where that creep drove his truck down Bourbon Street, killing 14 people, injuring several others. May they all rest in peace. So you bet that security has been ratcheted up in more ways than one under the new Director of Homeland Security. There she is on site in New Orleans, Kristi Noem, and the history that will be made. Donald J. Trump, sworn in just weeks ago as the 47th president of the U.S. There you see POTUS 47 welcoming the world champion NHL Stanley Cup champs, the Panthers, to the White House days ago. Did a video up here you can check out on the Red Dawn Media channel. Please do like and subscribe. I appreciate you supporting my content. Thank you again. Now, POTUS 47 will be the first sitting president to ever attend a Super Bowl. How about that? So lots going on Sunday. Also looking to make history, Jalen Hurts, the outstanding young quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. Hurts has a wingman. And what a wingman that is. Saquon Barkley led the league in rushing. Would have won the MVP if those Eagles coach would have let him play the season finale instead of resting him, sitting him out, just in case of the God forbid injury. Well, he had a chance to break Eric Dickerson's all-time single-season rushing record. Didn't happen. He would have broke that. He would have been MVP. But maybe he'll be Super Bowl MVP on Sunday. Now, Hurts knows just how big it is having the former Giant turned Eagle in the backfield with him heading into Super Sunday in the Big Easy. Take a listen to the Philly Eagles QB.
Can you talk about your chemistry with Saquon Barkley? And was that immediate or did it develop over time? If so, how?
I think with a player like Saquon, the effort he puts in, the character he has, and just the energy he brings, it's something that you always heard about when he was, at the New York Giants. And for him to come in, I think that was something that was instant. Reaching out, trying to come to Cali and spend his time together in Florida and working and putting that time in. And so he's already, a great player, but he's a great teammate as well.
And there's Jalen Hurts. Really a class act. Enjoy watching him play. Tush push and all, I hope the NFL does away with the tush push, but you'll see it on Sunday, you betcha. It's part of that Philadelphia Eagle offense. Now, as for Saquon, yep, he made that drive from the Meadowlands in New Jersey up Interstate 95 to Philadelphia across the Benjamin Franklin Bridge, and he became a part of the Eagles. And right now, Saquon says he's all about living in the moment.
Take it all in. This is part of it. You got to enjoy it. So I'm happy to be here, happy to have conversations with you guys. At the same time, it's a business and you stay locked in. But today, you enjoy the moment and have fun with it.
As for the coaching matchup, well, you get something very interesting that you had a couple years ago. You get one coach who's the all-time winningest coach in both franchises on Sunday. That's the Hall of Famer in his own right, Andy Reid. Reid, in the midst, like I said, of coaching this fantastic dynasty in KC, will take on Nick Sirianni, not as polished, and also not as veteran and senior as Reid, but he's on his way to becoming an all-time great coach. And you certainly have the classic coordinators in this game, especially on the defensive side with Spags. Over the years, I am so grateful to have had Steve Spagnuolo as the defensive coordinator for Tom Coughlin and those New York Giant Super Bowl teams. And you see what a difference maker he is in Kansas City. And how big he was in that AFC title game, running those blitzes at the right time against Josh Allen and company at crucial spots and forcing the Bills into errors and helping Kansas City move on to Super Bowl 59. On the other end, you have a long-time defensive coordinator in his own right. That dude right there. And that's defensive coordinator Vic Fangio. Started his career in high school coaching back in 1979. Again, he coaches the top-ranked Philadelphia defense, and he knows he's going to have his hands full with that Kansas City offense with Mahomes and company come Super Sunday.
Game, these guys run well after the catch. Obviously, Mahomes is elusive. Pacheco runs extremely hard. Tackling is going to be paramount.
Now, as for Andy Reid, Well, he had nothing but kind words to say throughout the week when interviewed by the media about the Philadelphia Eagles, showing his former team lots of love in RESPECT.
Look forward to the challenge of playing the Eagles. Heck of a football team. Very well run from ownership on down through. Nick's done a heck of a job there with the football team. Howie Roseman bringing the players in that they have, and they're very talented. And so well coached and very talented.
And there you have it from the head coach himself, Andy Reid. What a great coach he is. Innovative, fun to watch as much as any coach with his in-game moves, and also has the personality to match. Just an old school coach, likes to poke fun at himself, and you can see the respect that those players have. They certainly go into the foxhole for Andy Reid each and every Sunday, and they will come this Sunday. Now, I mentioned all the different historical ties to this Super Bowl on Sunday. This could easily be the most viewed Super Bowl in history. As you look at the chart, that's what happened last year. 124 million people viewed the Super Bowl. As I said, it will be again on Fox. The national anthem coming your way, like I said, about 6:30-ish, sung by this gentleman here, John Batiste. The halftime will be led by Kendrick Lamar, and we'll see if there's any surprise guest on the docket with Kendrick Lamar. When it comes to food and drink, it's an historic day of consumption in more ways than one in America. And remember, what goes in comes out. I'll explain. Upper left, 11.2 million pounds of potato chips are eaten during the big game. 12 tons of Ultimate Nachos were consumed at the AT&T Stadium during the big game in 2011. They say nearly 70 million pounds of avocados are consumed during the Super Bowl. You think about all the guacamole, right? Chips and dips. 1.25 billion chicken wings are eaten on the day of the game. 13 million pounds of poop, like I said, what goes in comes out, will be flushed in the United States. So local plumbers are going to have a chance to make up some of that money they lost on the holiday season. They can pay off their credit cards because they're going to be busy Super Sunday and Poop Monday. Enough on that. Nearly 50 million cases of beer are sold on the day of the big game. And America does love its beer, and they love its football, especially the Super Bowl. There's nothing like it. There's been talk for years of making the Super Bowl a national holiday. I'm all about it, because who the hell wants to work the next day? Let's face it. So with all that said, I hope you're getting ready to root for your team on Sunday. And maybe if you don't have a horse in the race, well, you just root for an epic classic. Like I said, we've had a couple really close games the last couple of years, and it seems like every game the Chiefs are involved in is a nail-biter, especially the Super Bowls that they've been part of. So there's only one thing left to do, and that is give you my winner for Super Bowl 59. So who am I taking? Well, as a New York Giants fan, it's hard to go with this one. But I think the city of brotherly love, it's time to break out the cheesesteaks and pop open the bubbly. Because at the end of Super Bowl 59, I see the Eagles winning by a field goal over the Kansas City Chiefs. You heard it here, sports fans, on Red Dawn Media. Philly 27, Kansas City 24. Enjoy the football Sunday from the Superdome in New Orleans.